Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Hey, Lighthead. Hey, Christmas tree.
That was amazing.
And now you're dead.
Light bulb.
Maybe an early nugget sprinkling,
I'm
but
feeling this one's going to be served up in like an all gripes pan.
your nerd den.
Trilon coated Durasteel.
Where does he get all the fucking cigars?
He's one bad motherfucker.
Shut the fuck up. Let's go to the mall. Fuck this podcast.
Hey, Mcgavin. Look here.
Stand by.
One for C-Lab, two for Joy Eagle, three for Wolverine to round out the trio. In this episode, everybody dies.
Broadcasting live from inside the power band, this is The Blah. In this episode, everybody dies. I'm your host, Kevin, along with my super friends, Ben.
Yo.
And Chad.
How's it going?
Let's start the show. Welcome to the podcast, folks. This week we're talking about the 1987. We're talking about the 1987 classic, The Running Man, starring friend of the show, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Starring friend of the show, Yaphet Kotto.
Starring friend of the show, Buzzsaw Eddie Butowski.
Dude, that dude was legit.
Yeah, totally legit. I love the two, sidearm chainsaws that he has on each leg, in addition to the regular chainsaw that he wields.
Yeah, because why not? Because it'd be easy to run around with that rig on.
Yeah, totally. And it looked like it was really easy to ride a motorcycle with two chainsaws strapped to your legs and then, holding another full-size chainsaw.
I'm sensing a Gripes of Kev episode.
You may get that. Are you sensing it like Counselor Troy senses something on Star Trek?
Captain, I'm sensing something.
Exactly.
Okay, it's time for quote-unquote high level.
High level.
Chad, what's your high level on this movie?
I liked that it is a send-up of reality TV kind of before there is reality TV.
Ish, yeah.
I mean, ish enough. I suppose before reality TV from my perspective, which is the first Real World season. I'm sure there are other examples out there, but that was kind of when it really kind of kicked off in my view, and I probably am wrong because, I'm coming at it from my perspective, but
sure.
It's a worthy send-up, and, it clearly is where Hunger Games got its idea from, and it was a lot of fun, and it has been a very long time since I've seen it.
Holy shit.
And I suppose the only other thing that I hadn't realized, because I last saw this when I was a young buck, I was a young Padawan.
Yes.
Is that it's very repetitive in terms of the rinse and repeat nature of these stalkers, but it was enjoyable. I thought it was fun. And I want one of those jumpsuits.
Okay. I like it. I definitely want one of the jumpsuits. What about you, Ben?
It's dated. It's silly. It's not really, rich with story content per se.
True.
But I had fun watching it, and it went by really fast. So in some ways, it's still really entertaining and holds up well.
Wow.
I don't know about you guys, but I kind of recalled it not being the best thing ever, so I didn't go in with super high hopes, and maybe that's part of why I was totally cool with it in this viewing.
I agree with that sentiment, and this movie, like many of these films, holds a special place in my heart. There's a lot of nostalgia value going on here, similar to Jarhigo, but also similar to Jarhigo. I thought this movie was pretty damn terrible. I haven't seen this movie in a long time, and I was like, wow, this really sucks. I mean, it's dated, it's cheesy. There's 80s movies we've done that, while they sort of inhabit the cheese of the decade, they're not cheesy and they hold up well. This was not one of those movies. And, while it's sort of a delightful romp, like I said, I haven't seen it in a long time, and I was kind of like, wow, I remember this is one of my favorite movies as a kid, but it's pretty beat, man. It was kind of whatever, the reality TV thing. It was like, yeah, all right, but there just seemed a lot left out, a lot missing, you know?
Mm.
And the formulaic nature of the Stalkers, yes. You know, I remember the Stalkers being like so awesome, and watching it now, I was like, this is just kind of dumb. It was. I mean, the Stalkers were not that menacing. They were pretty stupid. I mean, I forgot.
Most of them were pretty ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah. You know, Dynamo and Sub-Zero in particular. I mean, really Fireball too. I mean, really all of them.
Dynamo and his little car that's too small for him.
Yeah.
I know, right. The Dino-Kart.
Oh god.
The Dino-Kart was great, and the operatic singing was, you know, a really nice touch.
The Lite-Brite vest was so good.
Yeah, right? The Lite-Brite vest.
Hey, Lighthead. Hey, Christmas tree.
Light bulb. You know, I mean, the Sub-Zero, man. I mean, I didn't remember anything about Sub-Zero, right? Except for the bladed hockey goalie stick. And then when I see him, I'm just like, he's a goalie. Like, he's a hockey goalie. He's wearing hockey goalie pads on his legs. He's got a ridiculous jock / codpiece.
That was amazing.
He's got hockey chest. I mean, I'm a hockey player, and I played for a long time. I mean, but it's like he's got a hockey chest pad on, hockey shoulder pads on, a hockey helmet on. Like, it was just so stupid.
And the goal trap thing that he slides the guy into, that like,
Oh yeah,
that was just perfect.
and he's like
Exploding hockey pucks. I mean, come on, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's great in its stupidity for sure, but I mean, it could have been too that it caught me on the wrong night. I mean, if I had a little more energy, I might have been like, "Oh yeah, this is stupid and great and all that." You know, I mean, I was kind of tired last night, admittedly, but you know, like the net, for instance.
You got to be in the mood. I think you definitely have a point there.
Yeah, you have to be in your peak mood to watch this movie and appreciate the crappiness of it. No,
I don't know. I think my ability to appreciate it on this particular watching was that it was totally paired with the fact that I went in with such low expectations.
Yeah.
I did too. I didn't. I you know, similar to both of you, I was like not expecting a lot because I was trying to remember it, and I was like, well, it doesn't. In my memory, it doesn't seem as spectacular as, you know, when I was a kid. So the bar was definitely not that high.
Yeah, in the pantheon of Arnie movies, this one's for me, you know, way down there. So
way down there. In fact, I was thinking about it last night, and I was like, Raw Deal's better than this. Like, it's a better watch. It's more enjoyable in terms of. I mean, Raw Deal was ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, but it's way more fun to watch. And I could go watch Raw Deal today and be like, yes, you know, let's get some cake, man. Let's get some cake and some Darren Mcgavin, you know.
Shooter Mcgavin.
That's right. And some Patrovita. And that guy, the second in command guy, who was always talking like this. Is that an orange Julius you're drinking over there at the bar?
I could go for an orange Julius.
Totally. Let's go to the mall. Fuck this podcast.
That's funny. That's a bit of a nugget. The second director that they fired was trying to shoot this thing in a mall. So that's kind of a interesting little nugget.
That's right. I was surprised that Glaser was the director. I didn't realize that until I saw the credits at the beginning.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah. For anybody out there that doesn't know, Paul Michael Glaser was the I think I'm saying that right, was the director, and he's best known as David Stansky on Stansky and Hutch from the 70s.
Stansky?
Starsky. That was a little nod to the never mind. It was a joke so deep and so nerdy and stupid and clearly nobody got it, and that's a death right there.
And now you're dead.
Well, I don't know. I kind of feel like I might have gotten a death for not getting your joke, but
No, I'm not upset with you. I'm upset with myself. The joke is that they kept pronouncing his name wrong in the Ben Stiller remake of Starsky and Hutch, which is a fantastically funny movie in my opinion. So they kept saying, you know, David Stansky, which was kind of funny.
That's some meta shit there, bro.
Yeah, I know, dude. I failed. Okay,
this is the place for it. No, this is.
Face and
if
rub
there
it in
was
the shit,
ever
that's
a
fine.
moment in your life where that joke should have had standing. It was that moment. So I feel I would like to volunteer for a death because I didn't get your joke.
Volunteer death.
Yeah.
I suppose you're right, Chad. If there was any place that should have worked, it should have been here.
There's somebody out there listening that was like, yes! And then are mad at us right now. So I'm volunteering a death for that.
Yeah, I like this new volunteer death.
I think it should be broken out on very rare occasions, and this is one.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like kind of throwing yourself on the sword, as it were.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to remain like Raul and Endymion in the cat box, just in a state of being both alive and dead.
Speaking of deep cuts of random jokes that probably no one gets because no one listened to the 17 hours of content we made about that fucking book series.
Except Pieburn. Oh my god, that is funny, man. Shout out to Pieburn.
On the high level, if we could just like stay here for a minute because this is a poetic movie.
Oh yes, let's stay in the high level that's non-existent. Yeah.
Let's just do the whole thing high level.
Sure.
I definitely appreciated the like Roman Colosseum bred in circuses kind of give your populace a bloodbath show to distract them element to it, which a lot of other movies have done. And then
Definitely.
in kind of a similar vein, which is maybe an early nugget sprinkling, but evidently the pitch for American Gladiator was the dude walked into a room and showed clips from this and was like, I want to make this, but without the murder. And I love that because American Gladiator was so good. When I was a kid, it was like the worst, best show ever.
It was great and terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Nitro, Blazer.
I love how there's a connection and how much this reminds me of that. Like that whole hockey thing you were just talking about looked like a set from American Gladiator.
Oh, God, yeah, totally. I wanted to comment just to do a little retro comment here. The net thing that Weiss gets caught in, like my recollection was it had no top on it, no netting on the top. And he was like, guys, get me out of here like 3 times.
Stand up, bro.
Like, yeah, all you gotta do is stand up and climb out, bruh.
I'm really looking forward to the gripes of Kev on this one.
I mean, there's no, like, I didn't make a section in my notes called the gripes of Kev, which I sometimes do, but there's some gripes in there.
There's gripes.
There's ones that you'll love, Chad, that in the true spirit of the gripes.
Yeah, I'm totally down. I'm ready and waiting.
I'm feeling this one's going to be served up in like an all gripes pan.
Perfect.
Is that like an iron skillet that's like well seasoned with years of use and grease?
Years of gripes.
Years of use and gripes.
Yes. Yep.
There's a gripe in every bite.
There's a gripe in every bite. Well, I'll tell you what, my first note, which is a gripe, is that the Stalkers are in terrible shape. They're just
Yep.
really bad fitness, man. I was really disappointed by that on a lot of levels. They're just in terrible shape. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. Like Dynamo, he was pretty rotund of a guy. I mean, Sub-Zero had a kind of sumo thing going on, which I was like, all right, I can get that. Eddie Batowski had like a very
Hey man, he picked his motorcycle up.
That was pretty legit.
Yeah, that was legit. I'm not doubting their maniacal strength, Ben. I think, he had a very rednecky kind of beer gut going on.
Yeah, dude. The Bushwhackers from WWF. I totally am down with that.
Totally. And then like a Fireball, Jim Brown, like I didn't understand. Firstly, I didn't get his hair. Secondly, like I didn't understand what the white streaks had to do with Fireballs, if anything.
Dude, nothing about Fireball's costume said Fireball at all.
No, exactly. And the what was weirder to me, and this is a somewhat of an adjunct gripe onto my original gripe, was that he was walking around with his shirt open for like the entirety of the beginning of the film movie, not film, until he gets, quote, called into wardrobe. And I didn't understand that at all.
Yeah, I hear you. You fat shaming all these fine gentlemen makes me think of the time that we fat shamed Wilford Brimley, and now I want Wilford Brimley to be one of the Stalkers. So that's kind of where my head's been at for the last few minutes.
Oh man, okay, now you're onto something hot here. What? Brimley as a stalker. What does he do?
This is 1987 too, so this would be like younger Brimley, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't know how old he was
Totally.
at the time.
He was probably in his mid-40s.
It's like Cocoon Brimley.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he was in his mid-40s because he didn't start film acting until he was in his 40s.
Okay. I mean, there's the obvious like molten oatmeal, like he's like a lava dude and he shoots oatmeal people or something. I don't know.
I was really going in another direction in my head. I was thinking more like he would somehow capture you and then sit you down in a chair and give you a stern talking to and make you feel bad about your deeds and then make you kill yourself.
Right.
That's how he works.
That's how he captures you. The oatmeal is like it's like a all natural edible riot foam that encapsulates his victims and makes them sit there while he gives them a good stern talking to.
Right. Are you saying that the
Look, you're going to be here for a while, but I can guarantee you're not going to go hungry.
So are you saying this riot foam encapsulates him in somewhat of a cocoon? Is that what you're getting at?
Whoa, nice one.
Yeah, well, yeah,
That's fucking funny.
sure.
I was kind of going more for an oat Kano, like he's the oat Kano. He kind of like loses his steam, you know, he kind of gets angry. So maybe that's his thing. It's like the first role where he ever gets angry and blows his top. And when he blows his top, like molten oatmeal kills people or something.
The oat Kano.
I like that too.
It's like an angry oat Kano.
Would you say the oat Kano?
Yeah, the oat Kano.
I like it.
What would his vehicle be? He'd have to have some kind of a shtick.
I'm going to vote for a giant-sized Quaker oatmeal box with cardboard wheels on it.
This is kind of like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, except it's a box of a cylinder of Quaker Oats on its side or something.
Pretty much, yeah. Cylinder. Sorry, the cylinder of Quaker Oats. I was thinking of the instant, not the original.
I was going to say it's some variant of like that, one-wheel vehicle from South Park.
Right?
Only it's like a rolling tin of Quaker Oats.
Maybe it just rolls around in a barrel. And that's why he's so fucking mad all the time. Oh, that's funny.
It's not even motorized.
Yeah, they just stick him in it and shoot him down a fucking hill, and he gets out all dizzy and just gets mad and throws molten oatmeal around the place, giving people stern talking tos.
And he's so dizzy, that's why he's spraying the lava-like oatmeal everywhere, yeah.
I like it.
No, I like that. That's some good stuff right there, man.
It's a better stalker than half of the other stalkers, to be fair.
I agree. That's a way better stalker than everything else. And that, folks, right there is what happens when Wilford Brimley gets really pissed.
For some reason, the motorcycle stalker chainsaw dude reminded me, like, I have this, like, flashback of 3 seconds of a commercial from my youth where the crusty demons of dirt were, like, riding motorcycles inside a metal sphere. It kind of has that, like, really shitty going to the monster truck rally weekend kind of vibe to it.
Oh, no doubt, dude. Very, very Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It would have been more exciting if they were dumped into one of those giant, metal spheres that they ride dirt bikes upside down in, and that was sort of the arena.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would have been cool.
Totally, like a Thunderdome kind of thing.
Yeah, that would have been way better.
Smell a remake.
On a somewhat higher level, I was thinking about this as I watched it, or I was thinking about it as I was contemplating my disappointment, was that this movie, for I guess anybody out there that doesn't know this, you guys I'm sure know this, is that this movie was based on a Stephen King novel called The Running Man, which he wrote under the pseudonym Richard S. Bachman, which he did off and on throughout his career.
I didn't know that before today, but...
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, there you go. So,
doesn't this belong in the Nuggets section, Marv?
I assumed everybody knew it, Ben, so I didn't include it as a nugget. And that's really not the point. Was that I would love to see a remake that was closer to the book, closer to the original, like really some kind of miniseries or a maxi series. I think would do this a lot of justice, man.
You reckon? Did you? I read the synopsis of the book. It's not. I mean, it's not that different, except for the whole Twin Towers thing at the end.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Like Arnold, I read a little snippet that Arnold said in a 2015 interview that he didn't like the way Glaser directed the movie because he directed it like a TV show, which I totally get, which is totally apropos, and it worked on a lot of levels. But he said it really kind of didn't allow for a lot of the better and deeper themes that the original story had.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like, I'd love to see like the bigger scale, you know, definitely a better budget, and explore something more than just like the murderousness of it, you know, because really like in terms of crazy, like, you know, the world's gone crazy, totalitarian, blah, blah, blah. Robocop is scarier than this movie in that sense. You know, like when you watch the shows that are on the TV in Robocop, like when I watch those, I'm like, man, this is really twisted, you know?
Yeah.
This was like, you know, attempted to be twisted, but didn't really pull it off, in my opinion.
I kind of liked that it was fun, though, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
No, I agree with you. I dig that it was fun, but I don't think it struck the right balance of those things. And I think that's why it's disappointing. One thing, the only redeeming quality of the Dino-Kart was that I don't know if you guys noticed that it was super quick. That it had a kit-style red light on the front, like
like Knight Rider
underneath
kit?
the hood. Yeah, like Knight Rider kit, which I was like...
I thought you were talking about like a kit car, and I was like, oh, okay, is this like car corner? Okay. But yeah, right on, Knight Rider kit.
That was definitely a kit car. Somebody...
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was confused.
In their garage, it was like, hey, you want to use this for the movie?
Yeah, your YouTube bro should remake this, Benny, from your top 5 episode.
Dude, yes.
I think they have something not far off from that.
Be a fun remake. You'd have to make the matching Lite-Brite rig to go with it, though.
If you just, yeah.
Cosplaying as Dynamo would be tough because you'd have to wear that weird white sumo diaper.
Yeah.
You'd have to strip down unnecessarily to your tighty whities for one scene. Yeah.
Yeah. I would totally do that, though. Like, if you're going to cosplay as Dynamo, you need to cosplay as Dynamo in that scene with no pants because it would be funny.
Agreed. You know what it was? It was one thing. Go ahead.
The one thing I didn't write down and I knew I should have, Maria Conchita Alonso's line to him.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, being a loser with a battery shoved up his ass or something.
Yeah. I didn't write it down either.
I didn't either, but that was one of the better lines.
It was quippy.
Yeah, it
was
good.
a quip.
There's lots of quips in this one.
There was a lot of Arnold puns, too, that fell way flatter this time for me than they did when I was younger.
Now, actual zero. It's like, okay, man.
Yeah, like that. Plain zero.
Plain zero, whatever.
Dumb zero.
Plain zero.
I will say that for we're kind of all over the place, and that's fine for me. When he ripped the camera off the wall,
yes,
and said to Killian, "I hope that you save enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach." That was one of the best lines in the movie, and delivered with perfect intent and intensity. I loved it.
Yeah, that was an Arnie special right there.
I'm gonna make you eat that contract, but I hope you save some room.
Totally, dude. I loved his. I also loved his speech in the beginning when they escape and they go to the shanty town in L.A. and we meet
Dweezil
Mick
Zappa.
Fleetwood for the first time.
Dude, Dweezil Zappa, man.
Well, Dweezil Zappa and Mick Fleetwood, and I love. It was
Steve.
sort of ironically weird that Dweezil Zappa's character's name was Stevie.
I was just gonna say, yeah. Did you guys pick up on that? I didn't until after the fact, but I liked it.
I didn't even think about it until like right now.
Yeah,
but Arnold gives a little speech when he's sitting in the barber chair there. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I thought you can change the world with a bunch of dreams and talk. Why don't you shut up and get out of my way?
The slightly Werner Herzoginess of that one to me makes me want Werner Herzog to star in this for a moment, but
oh man,
he just like mope around and just like nihilism people to death.
Nihilism people to death. I love it.
Yeah, I thought you were referencing the opening scene, the like worst, the worst helicopter scene ever, where they just like had that moving car screen outside, and they all were just like in the worst cardboard cutout uniforms, pretending to shoot up a food riot.
Oh, you talking about the actual Bakersfield massacre?
Yeah, that was funny, dude. I completely forgot about any of that, and it was just so bad.
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's unpack that for a second. That was terrible.
It was quite possibly the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was terrible. It's all well and good, and then you start seeing the shots from outside the helicopter, and you're like, wait, what?
I guess the shots were taken from a King Kong movie or something. I don't even think they were actually from the production.
You mean when they're flying the helicopter?
Outside, yeah. Not the inside. Not the shots of Arnie in a fucking milkman outfit. He's in like a fucking khaki milkman outfit with a shitty badge on it. You know what he looks like? He looks like he's dressed like the automated driver of the taxi in Total Recall. He's got that weird square hat thing.
It's similar, yes.
Yeah.
Lovingly portrayed by Robert Picardo.
Yes.
Who was the doctor on Voyager.
And the cowboy in Inner Space.
That's right, our favorite.
Women love me.
While we're on Star Trek, evidently Mick Fleetwood was a huge fan and really enjoyed dropping that Spock line.
Which was awesome,
Yeah, that was
by
great.
the way.
Wasn't Mick Fleetwood on an episode of Star Trek?
He was, Benny. He went on to a couple of years later to be in one of the early Next Generation episodes. Good memory.
Wow, I don't remember that. That's a nice nugget right there.
Wait, did I just snipe a nugget from you?
No, but I read about it in the various research, and I'm just super pleased that you found that. That's great. That you recall that from your nerd den.
Oh, yeah. It's a rarity. It's a rarity that I managed to recall anything from my mind, but
But that's a good one.
that one popped out.
If you're going to remember anything, it's going to be some Star Trek, it seems.
Don't say that.
What else, gentlemen?
Sorry, I was trying to find that speech. I guess would be
The
an
helicopter
injection death.
speech?
That's an ejection death.
No, the speech he says in the barber chair to Mick in the beginning. I really liked it. It was actually good.
What the hell would you?
Yeah, it was full of Arnold conviction, and it was really good, and it was short, but it was really good. But that's also a perfect segue into a classic gripe of Kev that I don't understand. Where does he get all the fucking cigars? Where do the cigars come from? Like, he sits down in that barber chair and he's smoking a cigar. I mean, it's tent city in, totalitarian regime LA. Like, where is he getting all these minty fresh cigars from? And he seems like he's got one all the time. Anybody?
I think he gets them from McConaughey's character in
Yeah.
the Dragon movie.
It's a secret stash.
He got it from Van Zandt?
Yep.
Yeah.
They bumped into each other. I love it.
Nice. I know I had the same gripe in that movie.
No, it's the same as Demolition Man, where they're like in Dennis Leary's post-apocalyptic basement. They're like smashing fucking Coronas, like eating rat burgers, but they're just like popping the tops off of fresh Coronas.
Yeah, exactly. Like there was some sort of secret stash of Coronas somewhere, you know what I mean, that they a hoard, if you will, that they came upon in their various tunnel travels underneath the utopia.
Yeah, I'm kind of into it.
Wow. So the cigars just baffled me. I didn't understand where the damn cigars came from. But now clearly the answer is that he got them from Van Zandt.
Yeah,
before Van Zandt flew to England.
The obvious answer. In the distant future of 2017. I loved the people that the Price is Right style, they get called down and get to pick who happens next. Like it was funny the way that they did the gifting, and then like the extras or actors that play those roles were well picked. They were super cheese stick, but
great.
I like that they were cheese stick.
No, that worked well. Like that was one of the better parts of the movie, in my opinion. It was like how cheesy the contestants were. Like they were committed. They were more committed than some of the main cast in this movie. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And a little thing of note when they were doing the contestants is the Running Man home game, the board game, was so cheesy looking, man. Like it looked
janky as fuck.
Oh man, they looked like they slapped that together in 5 minutes.
Dude, you know what though? I bet you a friend of the show, Street Tacos, would be all over that board game.
Oh yes. Probably listening and writing notes down now. He's like, I gotta get me a Running Man board game.
Thought it was ground tacos.
Yeah, I thought it was ground tacos too, man.
Shit tacos.
No, you know what it was?
Tacos.
You corrected us that it was street tacos, and then Ben and I decided that it needed to be ground tacos, and you were like, all right, yeah, I can get down with that.
Trash tacos.
Trash tacos.
Trash
Oh, I think it
tacos.
was trash tacos.
It was.
That takes it to a whole nother level, because that means you're reaching.
It's tacos all the way down.
Yeah, you're reaching into the trash to get a taco is somehow different and grosser than if you're picking it up off the street or the ground.
Hey, man, when you gotta eat, you gotta eat.
Hey, if you're hungry in Cyberpunk City, you're hungry.
No doubt.
What's the name of the city, Ben?
It's Night City, Kev.
Night City?
Night City.
That's creative.
Talk to Mike Pondsmith.
Very much so. What else? What else do you guys have on this?
On the contestant thing real quick, I particularly appreciated the old lady that bets on Arnie. I like that little twist in the story, and she sold it to me.
She's my favorite character in the whole movie.
Yeah,
Same here.
She's pretty legit.
And that was also Killian's favorite audience member of all time.
Yeah, she was great.
He's one bad motherfucker.
Yeah, she says it, and then it cuts to the shantytown betting thing, and they're like, "Well, fuck it, we'll take money too." Yeah, all right. Like it just completely shifts the tone of the whole thing, and it
Flips it on its head.
yeah, it's quite clever and quite good.
Yeah, no, she had a great voice too, man. She was like, I can pick anybody I want, and I pick Ben Richards.
And it's just like all these old ladies and kind of like dorky looking business dudes, and they're all just frothing for murder, which is it's a little bizarre, but so accurate. It's exactly what would happen.
Totally. It was interesting to me to see how many members of the 60-plus crowd were such rabid fans of the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's daytime TV.
I mean, back when I was a kid and you stayed home sick from school, you'd watch The Price is Right. If I was sick in this universe and stayed home from school, I'd totally watch Running Man. Like,
Oh my God.
Yeah, definitely.
totally do it.
Comes on after, The Love Boat and Gilligan's Island and Three's Company.
The Hate Boat. Wasn't it the Hate Boat on that poster?
Ah, damn it. Yes. That was one of my notes I wrote down. I love that.
Hate Boat.
It's exciting and new.
I would like for us to briefly touch on the prison sequence, because that was pretty, I completely forgot about that.
Oh, man.
At the beginning?
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah.
Exploding necklaces and like...
In the future, dentist lamps will double as fence sensors for exploding necklaces.
Yeah. and the Jamie Lee Curtis announcer, like, the perimeter is down, It's like, there's just... I just love and hate it at the same time, and it was beautiful.
It was terrible. It was like a steel plant or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's Arnold, carrying a giant steel beam.
It was straight out of Commando.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what made me think it was a steel plant. I was like, well, he's got a steel beam, steel girder, so they must be making steel girders. Like, I don't know, whatever. I don't even no idea what it was.
It totally gave me a flashback to that Rutger Hauer movie, Wedlock. Do you remember that one? The exploding necklace Rutger Hauer movie? That's a good one.
Wait a minute.
That was an
What?
HBO special.
He did a bunch of cool HBO-only movies. Wedlocked. What? Can you give me a little bit more of that? Not that this is good show content, but...
I don't actually remember the plot of the movie. I just remember another exploding necklace movie, and it's a Rutger Hauer one. And it's like they put the necklace on him, and there's a necklace on a girl, and if they get too far away from each other, like their heads blow up or some shit.
Yes, I do remember that. You've jogged my memory, and now I do remember that. I remember it being a good movie, too.
Yeah, maybe we should do it. Maybe I'll pick it. Yeah, the prison-y bullshit was, I don't know. I just completely forgot about it and love how they have this weird briefcase and have to punch a code in and keep failing. I'm like, Chico just runs for the hills like Forrest Gump and his head pops, It's pretty good.
Yeah, that was... I don't know. Yeah, it was just dumb. The prison was dumb.
It was so bad. It was great, though. It was like, really? We need to have like the they escape from prison end of the... Like, that would be the end of a prison escape movie, but they had it in the first 5 minutes. It was like they're all high-fiving at the end, Everyone jumps up in the air, fists pumping freeze frame,
Like Grossman with the coffee. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the prison scene was very strange and weird, no doubt.
Which then, this is definitely not an attempt at a play-by-play, but then we get into the Maria Conchita Alonso Bowflex scene, and then the airport scene. Like, all I remember from this movie was the sled and the Running Man stuff, and so the setup I found pretty hilarious here.
Same here. I didn't recall the terrible shirt, the hat, the Bowflex, like any of that stuff.
He's like a cross. He's like a cross between Bruno and 12 Monkeys and Malibu from American Gladiators.
There you go. Nice.
I love that Amber Mendez works out to, Jesse the Body Ventura's workout video in her lingerie.
Dude. And that is Jesse the Body Ventura doing a workout video. I wanted the Shrike to be one of the people in the background of that video.
Captain Freedom's workout.
So good.
No, the best part of Captain Freedom's workout was how he was not really in the video. And then he kind of comes into the frame every couple of minutes to be like,
Feel the pain.
Snap into it.
Hang on. Let me try to get, what's that, Ben?
Yeah, he just kind of comes in to flex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I'm trying to muster up a Jesse the Body impression.
Feel the pain.
It's a valiant attempt.
Feel the burn. You want to snap into it. You want to snap into a Slim Jim.
That was pretty terrible.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, lingerie workout. That was great.
When they make him come out of retirement at the end of the movie and he's like wearing that like weird like plastic chrome armor thing with like the one arm, like.
I know, that was so bad.
I was fully expecting Jesse Ventura to be like the final boss battle and completely forgot about the whole like fake digital.
They deep faked it.
Yeah, that was a deep fake. I remembered it, but I didn't remember it to that extent.
You would have thought that Ventura would have had a bigger part, but he really it was just kind of a cameo in a way.
Yeah, he was kind of like window dressing, you know what I mean? Like commentating behind in the locker room and the Captain Freedom workout and all that stuff. I guess so that's it. Let's do the NDR. Oh my God. Anybody have a thought and you want to?
Oh, wait. Before we move on,
Yes.
I am hoping that I'm sniping a gripes of Kev. I was kind of hoping you were going to bring this up, but the number pad that Arnie dials into his brother's apartment that is now occupied by Maria Conchita Alonso has a telephone number pad of the 9 numbers, and then there's 11, 12, and 13 at the bottom. And why the fuck is there an 11, a 12, and a 13 on the numpad? And that's like the most gripe of Kev.
So you have out-griped me, dude. I did not notice that at all. Seriously. I wish I had noticed that now because that would have been right at the top of my list.
Yeah. So I just want to seize the moment and share that with the class.
Those sorts of details are just... you got to wonder what was somebody thinking, like to expand the number pad to include
Would have been 10, 11, and 12, I suppose.
13 or 10, 11, and 12. It's absurd. I mean, you can make all those numbers with the single digit numbers. Why on earth would you do that?
But just think of the props people would have been like, okay, we need something from the future. What should we do? They're like, why don't we just add some numbers to the telephone pad? Like, fuck,
Well, exactly.
that's genius.
Exactly. I mean, this is territory that we have explored before in other movies. I think Robot Jocks comes to mind.
Yeah, that one sausage in the pot, Robot Jocks. There was definitely one of those number pads on the door of that apartment.
Well, they did. They had the weird phone, the teleconferencing thing with the video phone.
Oh, yeah.
I think in that movie, and then it was the same. Like I remember Ben and I getting into a thing in that episode about how we need to have some futuristic movie here. Well, what do we do? Well, let's just lean on the pitch bender, man. Make it. And it's just stupid. Like I don't know. It's like when they just put like a bunch of boxy weird panels on cars to make them look like they're from the future. Like that's the sort of thing that would happen in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Or turn it into an actual truck like the Cybertruck.
There you go. Well, yeah, well, they turned it into the Cybertruck, 40 years later, and it's actually pretty dope.
Tongue in cheek. Yeah, totally. Anyways, number pad. That was my gripe. I just want to chuck that in there before we move on.
Good one. Just as a FYI, I am out of notes and I am out of gripes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whoa.
Going off the cuff.
Maria.
Because I'm going to ask real nice.
Yeah, exactly.
So dumb.
I don't remember the airport chase either, the running down the runway. I don't remember any of that. And I definitely did not remember the poor man's Darth Vader mask with the hard baseball hat helmets that the guards were wearing in the movies. I mean, in all over the place.
No, but I kind of want to like have one of those for just going out and about with the mask requirements these days. That'd be pretty legit.
I think it would be totally legit. Now, there's a merch item that would be pandemic specific. Is just the mouthpiece of the Vader mask as a mask.
Ooh, that would be that. I'm surprised they're
Right?
not all over that.
That would be super cool.
Would there be like a sulfur hexafluoride tank that pumps gas into the mask so that your voice gets super duper low
Of
while you're
course.
wearing it? Or
Yeah. I mean, I thought that went without saying, didn't it?
would it just be a would it just be a simple, voice modulation device? Electronic, of course.
I kind of feel like if you put a Vader mask on, Ben, your voice would go so low you wouldn't actually be able to hear it anymore.
It would. It would be like the brown note. People would just start pooping.
Yeah, exactly. You and Avasarala, I would love to give you both Vader masks and have you hang out.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't know if I can live up to the sultry deepness of Shora Agdashlu, but
Give it a
it
whirl.
would be fun to inhale sulfur hexafluoride with her and try to get as low as you can. How low can you go?
Hello.
Exactly.
Can you go? All right, we should wrap this fucker up. This is a short ass episode.
Yeah, no doubt. I don't really have anything else. I have one or two great nuggets. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I really don't care about this movie. I'm super surprised at how little I care about it. When I watched it, I was like, man, this is really a lot flatter than I thought it was, or I remembered it, and it just doesn't have the zazz. The pacing is weird, it's almost kind of too short in the sense that, like Ben mentioned earlier, that it moves along. Like, you kind of look up and it's over. But they kind of move through things very quickly. I mean, it's very quick, and we're into the game zone, already. I don't know. Maybe not.
I think you're just salty.
Well, it's possible,
Wasn't a masterpiece. I kind of want to give it an 8 now on the algorithm just to fuck with you.
You should, because I'll be giving it like a 5. Anything else? Anybody at all?
How can we close this thing up?
Well, okay, here's a couple things. That guy, Sven Thorson, who he played the security guard in this. He plays the security guard in Mallrats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Ooh.
feel like he played a security guard in a lot of movies in the 80s and the 90s, or a heavy of some kind, a bruiser,
He was awesome. He had a great haircut. Speaking of things that you like talking about.
Yeah, nice beard, too. Oh, didn't Captain Freedom have a mustache, Ben?
I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure.
Is this, if we're in the steak and mustaches section, is this one of the only Arnie beards that we've seen in any of his movies?
One of them, yes.
What's another one? I can't recall anything.
I can't either, actually.
Your Sven guy was a mall security guard in Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Was he really?
Yep.
I think he actually was a security guard.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, dude, Captain Freedom totally has a mustache. I'm looking at it right now.
It's not a very remarkable mustache, though.
No, it's not. There's like, it's so bumming me out because there's no. I'm digging for like something that's going to redeem this episode and make it more than 40 minutes long.
Sven was also Petrovita's bearded bodyguard in Raw Deal and a bodyguard of Lord Breytag in Red Sonja.
What? Was he really?
Yep. He was a Russian officer in Predator. He was a mercenary in Lethal Weapon.
Wait a second. Russian officer? Wait.
Wow, you're everybody Kevzing Sven Thorson, is it?
Yeah.
You are. Wait a second. So Russian officer in Predator?
Yeah.
What part are there Russians in Predator?
Dude, I have no idea. I'm in IMDb. I'm not digging from the depths of my ability to remember this guy.
I know, but like in your nerd knowledge, I don't like. I'm delving into my archives in my brain. I don't remember any.
Maybe just like the early scene where there's the sweaty arm wrestling match. Maybe there's some Russian stuff going on. I don't know.
You son of a bitch.
You're talking about Predator with Schwarzenegger. Yeah, no, there's no Russians in that.
I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Going back, and then they
Well,
go.
This is how we can chew up 10 minutes, though.
Well,
argue about, something that IMDb put in that may or may not be correct.
I tell you what, I'm also looking at this mustache.
In a first for the EBD podcast, a correction for IMDb.
That reminds me, you were meant to change something on a Wikipedia entry, and I double dog dared you, and I bet you never did it.
You talking about me or Benny?
You.
Oh, shoot. No, I don't remember what that was.
Nor do I.
There he is. Sven-Ole Thorson.
Are you going to read his IMDb page now, too?
Yeah, that's how we're going to fill up time, is I'm going to read his page.
What about just the general production values of the Running Man show? And, like they had like the solid gold dancers and like, I don't know if they actually were the solid gold dancers, but just
very similar.
All that stuff.
The dancers were an interesting touch. I think it worked for the show. It was,
yeah,
I don't know. It was terrible, but like it so fits with the early 90s. It just totally reminds me of like the In Living Color dancers.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they put just, I don't know if any shows have dancers anymore, do they?
No.
In Living Color is the last one I can think of, which was how J-Lo got her start. Evidently, this one was Paula Abdul. She choreographed all this stuff, which is like, I don't know if that's a nugget or whether I should be shot for bringing Paula Abdul to the show.
Straight up. No, tell me about it.
Good one.
I think I'm dead.
No, that's good,
you're good,
man.
You're good.
I love it.
It's kind of funny that they they sort of paw at the contestant as they're, coming on down, as it were. And
yeah, totally.
They're the ones that tear the outer prison suit off, revealing the magnificent gold quilted sleeve, Adidas jumpsuit.
Did you say quilted sleeved?
Yeah. Didn't notice they had like those quilted sleeves.
Well, you got to have that padding on that one side,
Yeah, that's funny. I picked up on them doing their weird interpretive dances in front of the contestant. It was definitely like a Cats kind of thing. Jellicle.
Oh my God.
And I love that Paula Abdul like choreographed all that, like I love that people take that seriously. I just think it's really funny.
Yeah, they do.
It's like, what should my moves be here in front of Arnie? I was like, well, I was thinking you could like flip your head back and we'll stick a weird stupid top ponytail on your head and it'll just whip around. I'm like, all right, sounds good. And then throw your hand in the air and splay your fingers really far apart.
Reach for it.
Maybe you have found your calling finally. You should be a choreographer, Chad. Clearly, because your critique is excellent.
See, it's kind of like figure skating, like Olympic figure skating, where like, yeah, cool, those figure skaters are doing cool shit, but I love that there's like an ex-figure skater commentating. So I actually just want to commentate on dancing.
I'm with you, man. I'm feeling you.
I think that'd be hilarious. Are you still reading Wikipedia, dude?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm on IMDb. I got stuck on Sven. I'm still on Sven. This guy has been in most of Arnold's movies.
Control W, that's the trick. Or Alt F4.
No, I'm on my phone. It's got this is just so worthless right now what I'm doing, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Oh boy.
Sorry, Ben. Last Action Hero, Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, Red Sonja, which you mentioned, Raw Deal, Predator, Running Man. I mean, these are all Arnold movies. He's in like all these Arnold movies. Red Heat, Twins. He was in Twins.
Eraser.
Was he in Eraser?
He's in Real Monsters, Benny. You'd like that.
He's in Hunt for Red October.
Come on, join in the fun, Benny. Open it up. We'll all read it to each other. we'll all read the internet to each other. It'll be great content.
Yeah, exactly. In our lowest show moment ever.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to hang up now. Yes, you call back when you're done.
I'll insert the Skype.
No, he was an Eraser.
Turning off sound. All right, seriously, Kev.
All right. I'll stop.
You done?
I'm done. Dude, he was in Gladiator.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not. He was in Gladiator. All right.
No, I know. I'm telling you to shut the fuck up.
No, I'm literally telling you to shut your face.
Like I'm actually telling you.
Oops.
Yeah, guys, I gotta go. I gotta score some steroids.
Oh, perfect Sven outro.
Nice tie-in.
What do you guys think of the whole trope from I don't even know when, where often in a movie it's like they find the tape and play it and the public sees the tape and now everyone's mind is changed? Because like,
yeah, what is up with that?
It's so not how we've lived the last, 4 or 5 years. Like even just the COVID stuff, like people just don't believe what they see anymore. And like, it's just interesting. It's interesting how back in the day, you're like, yeah, they just show the tape and everyone will totally buy it. And now it's just completely way more complicated than that.
In a world where like deep fakes are like the norm,
Yeah, exactly.
somehow showing the actual unedited tape makes it 100% believable. Yeah.
Yeah, like 1 minute everyone's frothing for the guy to die and like screaming bloody murder, and then the next we're like, wait, he's actually a nice guy? Like standing there quietly in the audience, It's just kind of interesting.
My favorite artifact from that movie is that weird, like, I don't know, index file cabinet Rolodex thing where, like, apparently all the files are in these weird little, like, I couldn't tell whether it was like a miniature floppy disk or a cassette or what it was, but
you know what it looked like to me, Ben? It looked like a cross between a mini disc /cartridge, because those came in a cartridge.
Similar
similar
size.
An SD card. So like you took an
SD
SD card and that, and you mashed them together. That's what you got. It was like bigger than an SD card. I don't know. It was weird. I love how she just like, where did she put them? They ripped all her clothes off. They took everything away from her. Like, where did she put those things? He even asks her that.
The same place Arnie hides his cigars.
Oh,
there you go.
There it is.
A couple of EBD mysteries solved, folks.
I like that. So you're saying you dug that prop, Benny? Because I kind of like that. It was clever, or not clever. It was just interesting. It was funny.
No, it's what somebody in the 80s would imagine, storage technology
Future
to be
storage,
like in the
yeah.
future.
Speaking of the future, one of the things I also forgot about this movie was that it takes place in 2017.
Yeah, it's funny. Hey,
like we've covered a number of films, that did something like that, like Blade Runner's 2015, and so forth and so on. But this was that was a bit of a surprise to me.
Where's my goddamn flying car?
Exactly. Instead, we get like Killian's limo that still has like the boomerang telephone thing on the back, and
That was pretty sick, though.
What, the limo?
Yeah,
Or the boomerang on the back.
both. Evidently, that was a Maserati limo, which is pretty cool.
Is that what that was? I thought
Yeah.
it was a Beamer, but I didn't see the front. So
Whoa.
Dropping the knowledge. I read Wikipedia.
Maserati.
somebody was paying attention.
Kev, did you I was getting some serious like sort of infomercial vibes from when they introduce Buzzsaw, they start going on about his chainsaw,
Oh, yep.
Yeah. Oh man, I remembered it last night. He was talking about what the chain was made out of.
Buzzsaw's chainsaws are made out of Trilon-coated Durasteel and can cut
That's
through
it.
muscle, sinew, bone, or even solid steel.
Yes, that was it. Tri-coated Durasteel.
Trilon-coated
That's it.
Durasteel.
Trilon. It's not nylon, it's Trilon.
It'll cut through a tin can and still cut through a tomato.
Exactly, but just like a Ginsu knife. It was so ridiculous, man. Almost as ridiculous as that ridiculous headpiece he was wearing. It was kind of like safety goggles and hearing protection with a chin strap, all kind of like melted together into one.
All melted together, yeah.
But I kind of want it to be like it's safety goggles, chin strap, and then like a mouth guard, like headgear that the nerds used to wear.
Yeah, totally. That would have made it. That would have been the completing
Hey, you guys like my chainsaws? I got some sweet chainsaws.
piece, right? Exactly.
Which is funny because Jim Brown literally just had like, safety glasses on. Like, like you'd wear in a wood shop. Like,
Yes. That was a note that I had that I couldn't read my own note because the pen I used was kind of crappy. And I was like, I can't read this note, but I think that was it. It was that he was wearing Echo, or at least in my mind, because I used Echo landscaping products for many, many years. It was like they always came with a pair of safety glasses. And
Yeah.
those were the glasses that Jim Brown was wearing.
generic safety glasses that come with any tool that might require them.
Terrible. You know what was really dumb too was that like I gotta say, like his jetpack / flamethrower, like the idea of that is cool. The execution of it was kind of weak sauce, but I mean he didn't even have like a flame. Like his jumpsuit was silver, but it didn't look flame retardant. It just looked silver and kind of
It just looked retardant.
lame. It just looked
It looked like chainmail. was like, what are they like? Did they cut Bennett's like chainmail tank top out of that? Like for fucking for Commando?
He would have played a good Fireball.
Dude, Bennett would have played a great Stalker because he kind of played something like that in 2 films, Weird Science and Mad Max. Or sorry, not Mad Max, The Road Warrior.
I mean, kind of in Commando too, really.
Yeah.
He was so cartoonish, he might as well have been a stalker.
You're right.
Did some opera singing.
Well, I mean, this is also the guy that played Mr. Igo as well. Let's not forget Igo.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not forget Mr. Igo.
Good old Vernon, man.
Now with the vibrating dildo attachment.
That was so twisted and weird. What was her name? Dr. Pepper? Dr.
Pepper?
No, sorry. Oh, wow. I can't believe I just did that. That's a death right there. Holy moly.
Dr. Margaret Kanker?
That's it. Dr. Kanker.
Dr.
Thank
Kanker.
you. Dr. Pepper.
This is inner space for anyone not following along.
Oh, Dr. Kanker, yes.
That's how good this movie is. It's just anything to talk about anything else but the movie.
Nugget Stats ratings.
I had something else legit, and I can't remember what it was. I got lost in the sea of nonsense that just came out of our brains a few minutes ago.
I had something else legit. Let me think of another movie we could talk about.
How do we get on the Vernon Wells thing? Oh, we were talking about Stalkers.
On the Stalkers, though, I kind of got I guess clearly they had a lot of wrestlers, with Jesse Ventura, and then the Sub-Zero dude used to be a WWF wrestler, evidently, the Professor Tanaka or some shit.
Yeah, what a weird name that was.
Yeah, but it really reminded me of the single elimination round arm wrestling scene from
Ooh, yes.
Over the Top, where, the dudes just seemed like legit just wrestlers as opposed to actual arm wrestlers. Like they just got a whole bunch of rando, gigantic wrestlers involved just because they are total beefcakes.
Definitely.
I'm grasping at straws here, dudes.
No, it's okay. I think one other thing I enjoyed, there was a part, they kept showing the announcer, for me, like doing voice work, like, I don't know, you never see the voice people. You never see the announcers. Like, so I thought it was interesting that they kept showing the announcer. And like the one main time they showed him, he was like in a booth that was like filled with smoke, narrating that scene. It was just, I don't know. It was funny. Her lover.
Right. His confederate, or her confederate, her lover.
This is the perfect segue into Nugget Stats ratings because I was like, please don't snipe my nugget. Please don't snipe my nugget. The announcer is played by Roger Bupass, who is also known as Squidward from SpongeBob.
Get out of here.
Whoa.
I didn't have that.
That's my nugget.
No sniping going on. Wow. That's...
And there's actually a post-credit scene with him where he just does like an outro to the show, which is quite funny, which if you guys missed it, you should check it out.
I missed it, and I read about it as I was reading about this morning, and I couldn't believe that there was an post-credits scene.
You can totally hear the Squidward in the post-credits scene, or the end of credit scene.
Nice. I like it.
Wow, I guess I'll have to go back and watch that.
Well, SpongeBob is very funny to watch.
Dude,
so.
SpongeBob is the best. Well, at least it used to be. The early seasons are so good.
Definitely. It's super weird.
You said you had a couple of good nuggies.
Yeah, one of them's really good. One of them's, okay. Just to get everybody not psyched about my nuggets.
All right. We'll start with the shitty one then.
It just that Maria Conchita Alonso, who is awesome, sexy Latino goddess, who appeared in many films around this time and a couple that we've already done.
Like Predator 2.
I always love seeing her. Unbeknownst to me, she is actually a very successful recording artist as well that has a number of gold and platinum records.
No shit.
She was also nominated for 3 Grammys, which I didn't realize. And if I'm remembering my reading correctly, she composed and sang one of the songs for Scarface.
No shit.
If you can believe that. So yeah, props to Maria. She's super talented, and I didn't realize that. She even makes her even more talented. I've always loved her, and that was a great little nugget to find out. That was one of my nuggets. What do you got, Chad?
That's it, bro.
Anyone else having a weird deja vu that maybe I heard that in Predator or something?
No, it was the gentleman, the dude cop in the team was a recording artist.
That was Ruben Blades.
Ah, okay.
He's also like an even crazy huge Latin American artist.
Okay. Wow, that's funny. I wonder if those guys ever did a duet.
That'd be sick.
My last nugget is, you guys are going to love this. I was blown away when I read this. So Yaphet Kotto, right? Great actor. He kind of made his name playing Parker, I think it was, in Alien, the original Alien.
Yep.
And, was in a bunch of movies and TV shows in the 80s and the 90s. Super talented actor. This guy was on deck to play Jean-Luc Picard until Patrick Stewart got awarded the role.
That's interesting.
That blew my mind.
He would have done a good job.
Exactly. And the more I thought about it, I read that this morning, and the more I thought about it, I was like, he totally could have been an amazing Picard. I mean, he's definitely got the acting chops for it.
Yeah, right. That's cool.
Nobody's better than Patrick Stewart, but...
Eugene Chaffor.
Yaphet Kotto to my ready room. Number one, send in Yaphet Kotto to my ready room.
Sensing something.
And Wesley. And a bottle of champagne.
Deaths.
I did most of the dying. Ben had no deaths.
No deaths, Benny.
I died on Stansky and Hutch. What?
Who came up with the fucking Star Wars mask one?
I was the one that said that they should be Star Wars Vader masks.
Okay.
You did.
Well, I brought up that they were like Vader masks with baseball helmets on the top, and then we got to COVID masks.
We're all dead because none of us actually noticed that.
There you go. What were our deaths, Kev?
Oh, sorry, Chad. Yours was you did the most noble of all deaths. You volunteered yourself for a death. You threw yourself on the proverbial nerd saber. And then, I ejected on Arnold's speech, which I still never found, which really should constitute a secondary death. And then my favorite death currently is Dr. Pepper from Inner Space.
That is good.
That is good. It's strong. It's strong as far as deaths go. And then I just died like that fizzling Picard thing I was doing that was inappropriate.
British tar, bro. Ooh, nice whistle. Yeah, I like it.
Don't incite us to do British tar. That's what I got. Ratings.
Rolling Stone's 5 for me. I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. It's not a great movie. It's good schlocky movie. Don't think it's Arnie's best, but it's a lot of fun. Not as good as First Blood, but better than Lord of the Rings, which I think is funny.
Better than Lord of the Rings? You mean that's how it rates in the algorithm?
Yeah.
Wow. Because I can tell you that Lord of the Rings is way better than this movie.
I just think it's funny that it's better than Lord of the Rings in the algorithm. Because, like, the 5 is a good movie, and below a 5 is borderline. And my issues with Lord of the Rings makes it borderline. So I kind of secretly love that it is below this. I think that's really funny.
I love it.
That is interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Benny, go ahead.
Okay. I don't know. The Running Man, it's an okay show, but I really prefer Climbing for Dollars.
Fair.
I'm going to give this movie a 5. Even the nostalgia factor couldn't save this movie for me. I was unpleasantly disappointed. I don't remember it being amazing. It's definitely, I'm going to go ahead and say, probably the worst of the Arnold movies, because even some of his really terrible ones, like I said, like Raw Deal and Conan the Destroyer, have funny moments that elevate those movies. This was just, I mean, it's not to say I didn't like it. It had a lot of schlocky cheese that was great, but, just, I don't know, unremarkable. I would love to see this remade with more money and more time put into it. So there you go, 5.
It was remade into a trilogy called The Hunger Games.
It was infinitely better.
There you go. I was going to ask you if you thought Escape from New York was better, and clearly you both do.
No doubt.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I like that no matter what we do, there's always one of us that feels slightly different than the others.
That's the beauty of it.
It's no masterpiece. I'll give you that much.
Don't get me wrong. I actually had fun watching it, but I think, like I said earlier, I think it's
Same
because
here.
I went in with like some pretty low expectations. So,
Yeah, same.
you know, just I had some laughs. It flew by, and any thoughts of like, oh fuck, I got to watch this movie just kind of melted away as I was watching it. Like it went by quick.
Yeah, I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel that way at all. Yeah, I'm with you, Ben. I didn't feel that way at all. I just thought it was, you know, when all was said and done, I was like, eh. You know, I mean, really, even like the stalker parts in the game zone was like unremarkable. You know, the stalker areas were just dumb too. Like, just, I don't know, weak. You would think that those would have been like the highlights of the film.
You would think.
I kind of like the mall idea.
Yeah, the mall idea was probably a little bit better.
Like, it would have been interesting if it was, you know, like old abandoned mall or something.
Totally.
Arnold maybe could have swung from some balloons again. And
Pipe in some Mallsoft.
Algorithm, what are we doing next week? I'm already more excited for that.
Yeah, well, you should be. It's your pick. We're doing Gattaca next week.
Excellent. That sounds very exciting. That's a science fiction classic starring Ethan Hawke. So, folks, join us next week for that. We hope you enjoyed our, whatever you want to call this, on Running Man. I don't even know if I could quantify this as an episode, but there it is. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
bye-bye.
And that's going to wrap up this week's episode, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find the show notes for this episode in your podcast app of choice, or at our website, ebd.fm/episodes/94. If you'd like to support the show, there are numerous wonderful ways you can do it. You can rate us and you can review us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast nuggleberries. You can also tell a friend to check out the show. Word of mouth is incredibly powerful and important. You can also now support us on Patreon at patreon.com/EBD podcast. So if you'd like to throw us a couple of bucks a month to help keep the lights on, please do. Don't forget to follow us on social media, folks, using the handle @EBD Podcast. We spend a lot of time talking to people on Instagram, so please come over there, join in on the conversation. Thanks for joining us for this Schwarzenegger episode of Running Man. Stay tuned next week for Gattaca with Ethan Hawke, and we'll see you next time. So long, folks.
Gillian, I'll be back. Only in the reruns. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta score some steroids. Beady. Stop into it.